Hey, that was a lot of stuff happening last part. This part we're going to actually finish off Chapter 4. Welcome to part 14 of Dynasty Warriors 9, and today we're going to be taking on the last two missions of leaving Jing province. And after all, as soon as we do, we're going to go on ahead and take ourselves over to Jing, where we hopefully will be stationed so we won't have to run off again. Spoiler alert, we're not going to be staying in Jing for quite some time. Oh no. Because after all, while we will be in Jing, yeah, there's still the matter of Chirbi. But nonetheless, folks,
You're amazing.
I'm going to go over to Kong Shu, where he is another one of Yuan Shao's generals. And once we take care of that general, then it'll be free reign to go after not Yuan Shao, I meant Xiao Hodun, who is blocking our path and is still angry over the fact that he's not going to be able to go after Guan Yu like talking about it. Which, by the way, by halting his progress to stopping Guan Yu would not have been able to rendezvous with us like talking about it. That is one of the more important objectives we had to deal with. Alright, now it's time for us to deal with Kong Shu. And there's not a siege ramp here. It's okay, we can just climb over, no big deal. But once we take care of Kong Shu, we won't have any more problems. And why did I jump when there was a platform I could just climb down? Never mind. But whatever the case, Kong Shu is gonna be stationed in the heart of the palace. Oh, and by the way, that lady that you see in the corner is Xiao Ji. Get used to seeing her. That's Zhang Fei's wife. I've already introduced her, but now she's more prominent in this chapter, well, at the end of this chapter, but more prominent in the next couple of battles to come, which is ironic considering the length of story that she actually has. Even more ironic because of the fact that she's also in Zhang Fei's ending. I don't know, they just have it the way they have it structured. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to take care of all these guys, and we're going to probably get to Jing. And here's a quick TLDR. Jing actually belongs to Liu Bei by this point. The only reason why Liu Bei has not had any more violence with Sun Quan was because of the fact of Cao Cao causing problems in the north. So, and also at the time there was also a rebellion going on as well. Not to say that Liu Bei was a bad governor, because he actually was. The problem of the matter is, despite him being a good governor, he had some faults. Specifically, allowing the Cao family to pick an heir as opposed to picking the heir that should have actually done something more valuable with Jing province. If it wasn't for the fact that he heavily favored his youngest son, Jing would not even be up for contestment because Liu Bei would still be there. However, that's not the case. So on that note, we're going to be moving over to leaving Jing province, which, by the way, why are we leaving Jing province if we're heading to Jing province? That's what it's called, that's what it's named. I'm not going to judge anything. Except that just makes no sense. So, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I went there and stayed idle for like 10 or 15 minutes because of the fact that there was a loading screen, and I thought the loading screen was going to take like 2 or 3 minutes, like that one right there. But whatever the case, because Guan Yu is joining up, the morale is boosted. And I'm going to have to climb up another way. Yeah, they now have no grappling hook areas. Yeah, that's a new update, unfortunately. Ah, good lord. They probably arranged it to where the siege weapons would come in. But that's okay, we're not going to need the siege weapons. I'm just going to find... Oh, that was weird. But, okay, they did all that for the... Okay, that was definitely weird. It's literally... The transition was literally smaller than the actual scene itself. What the hell? And Dynasty Heroes is like, I told you this game is bad. I know, bruh, I know. And as you can see here, you just noticed that the soldier just clipped through the fence. Good Lord have mercy. You just see disasters after disasters. Too bad this game is a guilty pleasure. It really is, cause let's face it, with everything that this game has been criticized for, it's still better than Dynasty Warriors 6 Special by a long shot. At least there's no screen crunch. That's one thing I can wholeheartedly thank. But we just defeated Xiao Hodun, and as a result, we have beat leaving Jing Province, sorry. Even though we're here in Jing Province, and we're probably going to take over the entirety of the province anyway. Oh well, on to the cutscene!
Guan Yu, I'm so glad to see you're alive! So very glad.
I apologize for worrying you so, brother.
You should be sorry. First you get captured, then you disappear.
Zhang Fei, I owe you a debt of gratitude for keeping our brother safe.
Don't mention it. I'm just doing my job.
And who might you be?
My name is Zhao Yun. Master Liu Bei has been good enough to take me into his service.
He's pretty handy in battle, brother.
I see. I am delighted to see another fine warrior in our ranks, on whom we can rely.
I am blessed by so many talented comrades, and yet, I myself have still achieved nothing. Worse, my own foolishness has forced us all out of our homes and into the wilderness.
I bent my knee before Cao Cao. But that was out of a desire to stay alive, so I might one day help you realize your dream, brother. We must all be grateful that we have our lives. We must not lose sight of our goal, and march onwards.
Thank you, everyone. But we cannot simply afford to wander the land aimlessly forever. It is my intention to ask for the aid of Master Liu Bei of Jing Province. Jing Province has been relatively untouched by the chaos of war, and Master Liu Bei is my kinsman. I have faith that he will welcome us with open arms.
I'm honored that you would ask for my help, Master Liu Bei. It is my great joy to welcome a man of your reputation.
I am adrift in this land, and yet you would welcome me so warmly. Master Liu Bei, no words can express my gratitude.
Please, you must think of this place as your own, and make yourself at home.
I am most grateful for Master Liu Bei's hospitality, but I cannot afford to simply wander. The time has come. I must find out what I can do for my people and what I can do for my land.
Well, at least here we won't come under attack. You should have all the time you need to find the answer.
I have faith that you will soon know what it is you must do, my lord.
We will support you until the day that your vision is realized, brother.
I am most grateful to all of you.
And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we've made it to the halfway point of the Liu Bei playthrough. We're at Chapter 5 now, and of course that means Chapter 4 has come to an end. And that means we're gonna have to line up all the contestants that will no longer take part in this game. But this is no ordinary chapter, ladies and gentlemen. This is unfortunately a Purge chapter! Wei loses 2, Wu loses 2, and others have been reduced to 3. Chen Gong's supposed to be eliminated in Chapter 3, but the reason's in the middle. Also, he has What If Scenarios DLC, like some other officers. And speaking of DLC, it's 75% gone. Yep, money well spent. And now on to the next chapter. And let's hit the cutscene.
The forces of Cao Cao defeat the armies of Yuan Shao at Guandu. The Yuan family loses momentum and eventually is wiped out. Cao Cao is now the closest to gaining control of the entire land. Elsewhere, Sun Quan has inherited control in Jingdong following the death of his brother, Sun Ce. His force, however, cannot compare to that of Cao Cao. Liu Bei has yet to find a land and is currently taking refuge with Liu Biao in Jing. He is given Xinye to govern, but he has practically no force of arms. This is truly the age of Cao Cao.
Master Liu Bei, I have received reports that Cao Cao's forces have begun to move.
Tuh. He's surely preparing to invade Jing province, brother.
It seems my presence will bring the strife of war to the peaceful land of Jing. I was forced to crawl to safety from Shu province. I am not confident that I can protect Xinye either.
Pull yourself together, brother! This is no time to show weakness.
Master Liu Bei, should we not first see what can be done before we admit defeat?
Zhao Yun's right. We'll never get anywhere feeling sorry for ourselves. We have to think of a way to stop them.
Of course, yes. I will see what can be done. Thank you, both. But I cannot simply allow the chaos of war to follow me wherever I go. I must find a way that leads to a peaceful future for my people.
Brother, Cao Cao's forces have already arrived. And they appear to be arranged in a formation I have never seen before.
How shall we handle this?
There's no point in wasting time thinking about it. Let's just get in there.
I'd wait a little if I were you. That is the 8 Gates formation. If you attack without proper preparation, you will meet a sticky end. But if you know where to strike, it can be a most fragile formation indeed. Master Liu Bei, would you mind awfully if I took charge of things here?
May I ask, who exactly are you?
Who do you think you are suddenly appearing out of nowhere and asking to be put in charge? You expect us to trust you?
Ha! I suppose it is natural to be suspicious. I would be if I were you. Master Liu Bei, my name is Shu. I make my living devising plots and plans of a military nature. I am a strategist.
Huh. I've never heard of anything so stupid.
You call yourself a strategist, do you? How do we know you're not an enemy agent sent to confound us?
Ah, well, you've got me there. How can I prove that my intentions are good? I suppose I could help you out of the jam you're all in.
I don't like this guy's attitude. I say we turf him out, brother.
Wait!
I must admit that I find this man's actions suspicious myself, but somehow I do not sense any ill intent within him. I cannot afford to allow Cao Cao's forces to defeat me. Will you help me overcome him, strategist?
Master Liu Bei, I would be glad to. You will not regret this decision.
Everyone.
Well, it's time for us to start Chapter 5, and how we kick things off is the 8 Gates formation. Now, this was a battle in Dynasty Warriors 8. I'm pretty sure it was also a battle in 7 too. Yeah, I'm positive it was a battle in 7. But more importantly, it was more difficult in 8 because if you did not follow Su Shu, well, you were probably gonna get lost, and more importantly, you wouldn't get the star requirement. Here, you're weakening the 8 Gates formation by taking every single initiative or every single side mission leading up to the 8 Gates formation, so that way it'll be easier on you. By taking the initiative, you're going to decrease the morale of the enemy and increase the morale on your side. This will stop all those rallying officers, or rather, rallying foot soldiers. Yes, the 8 Gates formation in this game have rallying foot soldiers, and you have the new update to thank for that. So with that said, god damn it, excuse me one second. Sorry about that. There was somebody by my door making a lot of noise, so there's that. But enough about that. I had that situation handled off screen. Let's talk about the situation on screen. Everything that we are doing right now is to weaken Cao Ren. What we just did was gave ourselves morale, which will at least have the AI to withstand the 8 Gates formation. Also, you have a base too right up the street from the 8 Gates formation, which is practically the Battle of Jing in general. But all we're doing is just weakening the formation. Capturing the bases is going to make sure that there's no reinforcements that's going to come while we're doing all of these. That also would include reinforcements for the 8 Gates formation. Yeah, it's not going to be hard. All you got to do is fight your way through Cao Ren, but at the exact same time, you're fighting rallying soldiers. But in order for to weaken it, we're doing everything we can. That's why we're going through the great lengths that we're doing right now. We're taking bases. We're going to be stealing supplies later on. We're trying to at least cut off the 8 Gates formation before we could do before it could do any more damage to us. And why can't I climb up this goddamn wall? Seriously. Alright. Just a little bit more. And we're good. Perfect. Oh wait, no. Why are we climbing up our wall anyway? That's our castle. Oops. No wonder I have the non-grappling hook sign. Ah, I am a dummy. But whatever the case, as you can see here, all the officers are rallying. But since we captured the base, the rallying officers will no longer be a problem. And what we're practically doing is defeating all the enemies that are in the area. And goddamn, Swole Song and his terrible voice acting. Well, enough complaining. Let's just go on ahead and go to the next mission. Although I do actually stop it somewhere because of the fact that we just went through a lot of cutscenes, and unfortunately I was running into the 10-minute time limit on the recorder, so we had to restart another recording. So now that the base is captured, next we're going to capture some weapons. And this also unlocks starting a fire attack too, because starting a fire attack in the 8 gates formation will weaken it as well. We're practically making sure that this strategy works. So, all we need to do is just beat the enemies that happen to be holding on to the weapons. And the weapons in question are going to be the opposite direction, but first let's take this base. Because after all, you know the ordeal, you know the drill about capturing bases. And we've captured that base. Although it may not have been an important base, we still captured the base, so that would be more stuff for us. And I just realized I have more stats than I gotta put them on, but unfortunately I've probably forgotten about them. I won't until I won't when we get to part 16. By part 16 I'll actually add them on. But for right now, I just saw a whole bunch of minerals and I'm going to try to collect them. Because after all, we need all the grinding materials, or not grinding materials, I mean the crafting materials we need. Yeah, we're grinding for these materials, but still. And they're once every chapter, by the way, that you see all these clusters. So every new chapter, a cluster will appear. Which is why you'll spend multiple times coming to this area. Or coming to areas like that. I mean, unfortunately, some of the rare items, like some of the food material, is from like regular side quests from peasants. All those items that we happen, all those clusters that I just so happen to find, you gotta uncover them through the waypoint, you gotta uncover them through the towers, you gotta uncover them from bases. You gotta run up on them, and more importantly, if there's anything else about these clusters you need to know,
I never thought we'd lose the siege weapons.
There are, like I said, once a day, or at least once a chapter. Not once a day, but once a chapter. They don't respawn, so once the clusters are gone, they're gone. And by the way, those 3 officers we just killed, by defeating all 3 of them, we took the catapult, we took the ballista, we took the ram too. And we're practically using those weapons somewhat to do our dirty work.
We've managed to get away. This will allow
I
us
think
to
I
use
forgot
the
one
siege
here.
weaponry to
Hold on,
attack
give
the
me a
8
second.
gates formation.
I think. Oh, it's this one. It's this one. Here we go. Oh, I think I had a pop in just show up. On that note, I just got finished getting rid of that. Sorry about that. This is the same recording, by the way, and I had to keep the mouse away from the speaker. And that was a pop-in for my schedule, and I didn't really need my schedule to have a pop-in. Anyway, we're gonna go on to the next one, and this one is to start the fire attack. And we're gonna have to beat up every last officer here to start a fire attack.
We are preparing the fire
And in
attack.
order for the fire attack to work, we gotta make sure that nobody here is going to stop us. So that means we're beating up every single officer. We got to lure the officers out and make sure that the fire attack goes off without a hitch. The only way you lose this is if you die. And look at my level. Unless I allow a bunch of people to smack me around, that's not going to happen anytime soon. Even worse, I am not going to lose to level 30s on hard, or on ultimate, or on chaos. I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. Maybe Musou. Yeah, Musou, this would be a very, very tough challenge. We'll have to go back to Catapults to the rescue because that just opened. Well, let's go on ahead and finish this fire attack right here. We just need to slay any and all enemies that are in the vicinity. That means groups of enemy officers and a few Musou officers. I think Li Dian will be the one to end the entirety of this mission. All we have to do is just defeat everything until Li Dian shows up. And there he is, right there. We just need to end him, and we are going to be done with this mission. And with Li Dian defeated, we just need to take care of a few more people here, and we'll be done. Come here. Oh, we just have a few more peddling peasants around the area. I think we'll be done. And now the fire attack has gone through without a hitch. So, there you go. We had to protect the engineers to make sure the fire attack went through without any sort of problems.
This victory was made possible due to your efforts.
And so far, we made sure we did.
It is time to unleash the fire.
Now all that's left is to deal with the catapults, and I think supply routes is the last thing we need to do, and that will be the end of basically this whole entire ordeal. So we're gonna have to use the catapults to attack, but we're not actually getting into the catapults. This is a Dynasty Warriors 7 and 8, you know, the good game where you actually ride catapults. No, what you're doing here in this battle, you're practically destroying the enemy who is impeding you from allowing the catapults to reach their destination. And
We need to transport the weapons.
if you let the catapults be destroyed, you'll fail the mission. Otherwise, this should be straightforward. You're just destroying everything that stands in your way.
How did Liu Bei's forces get those weapons?
And once you destroy everything that stands in your way, guess what? The enemies that would be trying to take out the catapults are gonna start running away. Just like that. It really isn't that hard of a mission. And even worse, these are peasant groups. This isn't like officers or anything like that. No, they're not really peasants, but they're soldier groups. As opposed to the actual soldier. Oh wait, there's an officer here. Who knew? Well, there won't be one anymore. He's gonna die. Right there.
Failed to destroy their weapons. That puts our own ones in danger.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Let you go for now.
I can't believe I just said that.
Won.
Well, for the most part, at least I unlocked the Super Dragon Balls. By the way, that is the dumbest line to ever have as a keyword for the Dragon Balls. Just downright stupid. But somehow that leads to Zamasu taking over the world. Okay, I'm going off subject here. Anyway, on to the last thing, and that is taking the supply base. Oh god, this mission. If this was the other way around, this would be the hardest mission for Shu. I think the hardest mission against Shu, and that is to protect the supply depot. But instead, this is the easiest mission because by the time you get here, Liu Bei or anybody who's in Shu would be fast enough to do the deed and just go.
It cannot be maintained without supplies.
And on top of the fact that got red hair, that makes things a lot easier and a lot faster. All you have to do is just destroy the 6 supply captains, and that's it. Whereas if you're a Wei soldier, all you have to do is just find the captains that are attacking you and just take them down. Not the captains, but rather the commanding officers and all of the peasants, and just take them down until the supplies go to their intended target. And with that said, we have stopped the supply captains and stopped the supplies. By the way, there's a certain point before the supplies actually go to the enemy, and if you let them go to that point, the mission will be failure. But it's not, and we've saved everything, and now it's time for us to call it a game, because in the next part, we're going to take on the 8 Gates formation itself. This is RVman 985. See you guys next time. And no, Chapter 5 is not short, it's actually pretty long. Chirpy is afterward.